a couple of minutes here to get set up for the next stream of the day, YouTube. How are you doing? Is that Crypto Grady in the house already? What? Hello. Let's get set up with Discord. And let's see, in Atlantis, we're gonna get the lobby there. All set up. Let's see, what else do we need to do here? Test the microphone here real quick. Testing 472. Testing 472. Got it. Potatoes, potatoes coming into the house. Looks like we probably have Crypto Grady here already. Again, just need about another minute before we get this party started. We're going to be doing a couple of giveaways today as well, raffle stuff. Y'all want to hang out here for that. The plan is to do 3 giveaways for some raffle tickets for Sunday's raffle over the next 3 hours. Spreadsheet in place, get our DeFi Kingdoms screen, log in, Discord, we are logged in, gonna hang out in the lobby under Atlantis Discord, if anyone wants to join voice. Crypto Grady, have you been hanging out all day, like 24 hours in the lobby? That's crazy. Grady just came in recently in expectation for us. Hello, hello. Good meridian, everyone. Let's throw that out in the chat. Good meridian. Whether that's AM or PM for you, welcome on in. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Thanks for stopping by. So what are we going to be doing today? So this morning on our YouTube stream, we covered a little bit of stuff with the markets. Of course, this is Saturday, so there wasn't a lot of new market data for this morning, but we got caught up for everything that was happening yesterday. And then also we did a little bit in our Discord, which maybe I should point out right here. We are going to be doing giveaways, something somewhat substantial every Sunday. And when I say substantial, it's going to be something like eggs or maybe a hero of some type. Maybe we're going to do summon a new Generation 1 hero, maybe. Perhaps we're going to give some kind of random loot items. Not really sure what that might include, just whatever we've got available. And maybe some amount of jewel or crystal. J-Dub recommended or suggested pets and maybe eggs that were ready to hatch. Dame said something about making sure that we reward smaller wallets, and I want to make sure with my reply right here that for our giveaways that we're doing, it doesn't really matter how big or small your wallet is. Really, it's about being in chat. So being in our chat room and interacting there. In fact, let's see, if I come over to this screen right here, Crypto Grady and Potatoes are here already set up. They've been active in the last 15 minutes. And I also give subscribers a little bit of double their chances or double their luck. I'm not sure how that actually works with YouTube. On Twitch, being a subscriber on Twitch means you actually are a $5 a month paid account. And on YouTube, being a subscriber means that you're free, but there's a join on some channels. I don't think my channel is eligible for the paid yet, but that is available. And we're not going to do a drawing quite this early. This is a little too early in the stream, but I did want to go ahead and mention that we are doing these drawings. And throughout the weekday, those of us being here in chat are going to get an opportunity to win some of these raffle tickets that I've had for a long time when I was doing things before. 808 play to earn reward tickets. So you're going to get this NFT right here. We've got several owners of these NFTs right now. And this is what y'all will be winning. So I can transfer these over to your wallet throughout the day or the week. And then on Sundays, you'll be able to redeem these raffle tickets or these reward tickets for, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but my thought process right now is that y'all can put in any number of these tickets that you want, and we're going to spin a wheel and pull a winner from that. Of course, the more tickets you have, the more chance there is to win. Lane K, how are you doing? Nobel, good to see you again for the afternoon show. Thanks for hanging out with us all in the morning show on Twitch as well. So these reward tickets are going to be handed out. And then, like I said, on Sunday, we're going to actually be drawing a prize and all that kind of stuff. So all you've got to do is be a participant in the chat room. Even just saying hi is all that's needed. And we're going to wait a little bit longer to do this drawing, but it is going to happen soon. So anyway, hang out with us. Let's continue on with our stuff for today. So this morning we took care of updating our spreadsheet and everything that we needed to do there. Let's hop over here to our DFK 1 account and back over to the DFK network and get logged in there. One of the things that we were discussing earlier today was when Jeweler 2.0 was coming out. And if you look in our Darlantis Discord under the DeFi Kingdoms channel, or DeFi Kingdoms group of channels for the 808 family, we've got a new voting. We've got a new voting option in here for those of y'all that want to participate in our community DFK account. We've got 123 X Crystal in there right now, and maybe I should show that on stream right here. If we go under our 808 community account that I've got set up for y'all, and we take a look in the jeweler, 100 of these X Crystal is from me personally as my initial contribution that I wanted to put in to help get the ball rolling with this. Eventually, as I've said before, my plan is to take out that 100 crystal or X crystal contribution, but for some amount of time, and I don't know how long that's going to be, but obviously it's going to be longer, maybe another year, who knows. I'm going to keep this amount in there, and it's going to give us some gains. But now is an interesting time because X crystal, as we know, or Jeweler 1.0 is going away. The only things that we're going to be able to, quote, stake or put into Jewelers coming up soon is going to be Jewel that we're going to stake for C-Jewel. And we talked a lot about the meaning of that this morning. And then also, because this account has gained 23 additional X Crystal over the course of the last few months, then what do y'all want to do with that? For me, I'm definitely going to take out the 100 and move it over to C-Jewel when the C-Jeweler opens, because I again want our community account to reap the rewards from that. That was the original intention. That's still my intention. So that's what I want to do. But the community has gained 23 X Crystal, which I'm giving you all the ability to vote on. So here, in fact, let me, now that we're on a new stream, I guess I ought to copy the link and let me paste it into the chat room here. So if the community wants to vote on what you want to do, then come in here. We've got 23 X Crystal then that y'all can do, but the remaining 23 X Crystal is available for y'all to do whatever it is that you want. We can either keep it in the X Crystal Jeweler until C-Jewel is available. That's one thing. And as we talked about this morning, I'm not really excited about that option myself, but again, y'all make your own decisions. I don't want to sway you too much, but if we're talking about it, one of the things we're looking at this morning is the fact that Crystal itself has really dropped a lot in value as compared to Jewel over the last couple of days, and even over the last day continues to slowly drop. And I'm a little concerned that holding X Crystal right here might lose some value against Jewel over the next few days as maybe more people start to get prepared for C-Jewel or notice that Crystal is dropping and maybe they start to bail a little bit more in expectation of Jewel. Whatever the case is, I'm a little concerned about keeping our money in here. So that is something for y'all to consider and vote on, but it is a possibility that it might just be easier for us to keep it in that jeweler and let it sit and accrue the small amount of APR that it will. The other option is withdraw for now and convert to Jewel and just have it sit there. Again, voicing my slight concern as Crystal continues to lose value against Jewel, so we might want to just bring it over into Jewel right away. Something else, we can use that for prizes and giveaways ASAP. That's totally up to y'all if you want to do that. Removing it out of the DeFi Kingdoms game, of course, means that we'll be gaining less value in the future, but I'm leaving that up to y'all. We could put the 25 crystal into a crystal ETH pool to get the higher gains from that, and also we've got 4 gardeners doing questing, and so those gardeners will be a little bit more efficient. But 23 crystal going into that pool, I don't know if that is going to provide us a lot of extra value in there. It might be a little something, and that could be good. And then finally, some other options, whatever other options that y'all can think of that we might not have thought of yet, go ahead and describe them below and we'll add them to this list. So if anyone else has some other ideas of what to do with that additional 23X crystal between now and the next 2 weeks or 4 weeks, then please let us know. Otherwise, I think if we don't get anything, then we're just going to let it sit in X crystal. But it looks like the vote, for the most part, is going to be to withdraw and convert to Jewel. I'm going to let it sit for another day, and so tomorrow morning on the Twitch stream, we'll actually make the decision and make the move over there, right? Or maybe at the end of this stream. Maybe by the end of this stream, because some people I noticed have already voted from this morning, and we'll touch base in here again. But that gives you the opportunity to get y'all's votes here from YouTube over there as well. All right. So that was one order of business that I guess we wanted to look at really quickly, so y'all can get some votes in. So Nobel and Link, how are you doing today? Or Nobel, I heard from you, but if you want to share how your lunch has gone, that's fine. Otherwise, just hang out in chat in the background. Potatoes. Anything new from you over the last day? And Link, anything new from you? Crypto Grady, you're welcome to hang out and lurk in the background if you want, or either put a message in chat if you want to talk about something specific. I am also in the lobby under the Discord. In case anybody wants to join there at any time, you're welcome to do it as well. Otherwise, we're just going to continue on with our regularly scheduled program of a day in the life of DeFi Kingdoms. And if that's the case, let's take a look at our Gen0. I think if we come over to one of our main accounts, DFK1, and we look at our heroes right here, or maybe looking at our heroes isn't the best thing to do. We want to go into the tavern and put up some heroes for rent. Agent, list for hire, and here we can see that Ramnella and a couple of our other Gen0s that had been hired out a couple of days ago, they're now ready to go on hire again. So last time we put them on hire for 20 crystal, and they rented right away, right? Within 24 hours, and some of them rented within just a couple of hours at 20 crystal. So it makes me wonder if maybe we underpriced them a little bit. This one right here, Harsalt, we rented for 35 crystal, and still over 4 days of time has not been rented even once. My thought is that 35 might be higher than most people are interested in paying right now. But I'm a little, is disappointed the right word? I'm not sure if that's really the right word that I want to use. But as we can see right here, might be a little small print, but this particular Gen0 only has 9 summons used on it. And if we look over here at the infographic, a Gen0 with 9 summons hasn't maxed out their full price yet. So someone is getting about a 6 or an 8 crystal discount for using this 9 summoned Gen0. And I feel like I want to get reimbursed for that a little bit. Otherwise, you know, if you're willing to hire something out and you're also going to have to pay not only the hire fee but also the summoning fee of 30, then it seems like you might be okay hiring or having a slightly higher, slightly raised hiring fee and a slightly lower summoning fee. But that kind of balances out a little bit. Whatever the case is, apparently no one's looking at that or has considered that, or maybe the price is still a little too high. But we do have a Seer Legendary Gen0 with, on top of that, Seers make good gardeners, and we've got a matching gardening profession and even a green wisdom here, which might help pass along to a baby as well. So all of that in general, I think, makes a pretty good Gen0 summon partner. The fact that it is level 4 might be holding us back a little bit as well. Maybe once we get up to level 5, that'll be a little different. So maybe racing to level 5 could be something that we could get there too. In the meantime, I'm considering reducing this by maybe 5 crystal and maybe raising these by 5. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put these back on higher right now. So last time they got listed for 20 and went right away. Let's put them on 25 and list for hire again. So we've got Remnella that is going to go out for hire. Hire out, confirm the rental. A nice Berserker Warrior, legendary, level 7. So you are going to get that little bit of ability to add more Gaia tiers to that. We also have a Gardener for this. So it's a little interesting Berserker Gardener pair. But we do have a Dex bonus and a Luck bonus. So we'll see how Remnella does for that rental. We also are going to come over to our DFK2 account. And in here, we're going to look at the heroes on this account as well. And here we've got Gen0, I guess is how we're pronouncing that. A level 10, so you're going to get 2 abilities, or not 2 abilities, but 2 opportunities to throw some additional Gaia tiers on that. And we've got a Pirate Priest, legendary again. Flipping over this card, we have got a Strength of 24. This is a mining hero, and pirates do pretty good at mining. With an additional blue Strength there of 24, which I think is going to be good. And a little bit of wisdom in green, which kind of helps the priest aspect of it as well, right? So whether you're trying for a little bit of mining or maybe a little bit of priest stuff with subclass, that could be a little interesting also. Level 10. And we're going to go ahead and rent this one out as well. List for hire. 25 for you also. List. Hire that out, confirm the rental. And confirm on the blockchain. Does anyone in chat know the proper way to go and look at lineage for heroes, to look back and see what Gen0 was involved? I know that the Gen0s numbered from 1 to 19 have some issues with them, right? I know that it had been mentioned before that DFK Ing, I don't know if we're pronouncing it DFK Ing or DF King. DF King sounds a little unusual to me since we're talking about DFK. But whatever the case is, the DFKing.com account can show lineage, but I have not been able to see it from there. DFK Tavern Ancestor or something. Maybe we could look it up there in some kind of way. Let me finish hiring these guys out. And if y'all have some other suggestions or even a direct link would be better. But if we don't have any direct links, I'll try to do my own search for DFK Tavern stuff a little bit later. But we got this one rented out now for 25 crystal. And then finally, let's jump over to our third account here, where we also are going to look at heroes. And we can see here that under active quests, there better be an active quest here. Let's refresh this page. Active quests. Yeah, so 9 more minutes. We have Galena, who is questing gold mining. And then after that, we have 20 more minutes. Oops, I'm sorry, 40 more minutes to regain some stamina. So as I look at my phone's alarm clock, in 49 minutes, we should come back to here and look at Galena to give her a stamina potion, or collect her from the quest that she's doing, give her a stamina potion, and then send her back out to gold mining again. All right, so we've got the alarm set for that. Everything's good. But let's also come over here and we can see that we could rent her out again right now for a summoning partner. List for hire. We're going to put in a 25 and list for hire right there. Hire and confirm that rental. So for Galena, we have got a Berserker Wizard and a rare, Gen0, of course, level 5. We just got her up to level 5, which means that it's going to allow the summon partner to go ahead and plug in an extra set of Gaia tiers, an extra 10 Gaia tiers to boost up the stat bonus there, the stat boost there. So Berserker Wizard, rare. If we flip that card over, we can see that it's mining. So Berserker mining matches up fairly decently. And we do have luck for both blue and green. So it doesn't really match up as far as the profession goes or the class. But that is what we're looking at for there. A Berserker Miner, level 5. Galena. Now for hire, 25 crystal out there. We'll see how they do for renting. I'm going to make a note in our spreadsheet. Somewhere up in our spreadsheet, I have got information on the hiring of these. And maybe I can pull over this spreadsheet here just to show y'all real quick. So in this part of the spreadsheet, we have got our hero rentals ready on the next day. So they came out today. And one thing that I'm not seeing right here is Harsalt. So let's come back over to here. DFK1 account. Harsalt. Control C and drop that over here. Or let's undo that. Just type it in. All right. So that rental got put out also on 22/10, let's just say 11. I'm not sure exactly when it was put on, but that's probably close enough. And this one still is not received. This one hasn't gotten picked up at all. So I think what I want to do with these is change the way that these are listed a little bit. So what we want to say, I think, is like, I think what we want to do here is have these heroes listed first. And then what we want to do is have a listing date. Which might be something like this. And then we have a like a rental date. And then perhaps we want to have, and that would be something like whenever that was. And then for the amount, that we gained. On that specific date. And maybe our listing date should be something a little bit more like the date we listed or the time we listed subtracted from. Tell you what, let's do. Let's come over here and do something like 2022 10/15. And then can we give a time? How can we give in this format a date with a time? Date and time together. So space and then hours, minutes, and seconds, perhaps. So we could have this space. It is 14:33, something like that. Not sure if that's exactly how we're going to do it. Tell you what, let's look that up here. Google Sheets, date math. How to calculate difference between the dates. We don't really want to do that. Type the dates or click the reference cells. Let's just take a look at some of these just to check. So I want date math, but I want to include times as well. So not just the days. But how would we type in a date with the time? Looks like we're not getting any of that. All right, so here we've got, again, just dates without times. We need, instead of date math, time, some dates. Let's just check this out real quick. Range, criterion, conditions. It's not really what we have. And I saw that was some if also, so that might not be quite what we want. Formula between two different dates. Let's check that out as well. So here we're returning true or false for certain things, but that's not quite what we want. How to add days. Nope. Count the days between two dates. I really wanted to get down to time math. So maybe let's do that instead. Google Sheets, time math. Oops. Let's make sure we spell it right. So we have end time minus start time, of course. But how do we have that include days and hours? Here. So it looks like they are putting a date, space, an hour, and then an end, And then they are using just a minus sign for that, but those fields are date fields. So if we look in here and just say, format this as a number of a date, time, or this one specifically, or even this whole column as formatted date, time, right there, which doesn't change the way it looks, right? And that's fine. It doesn't change the way it looks, but then if we were to come in and say, am I going to be able to do something like put parentheses around that and then subtract 2022, 10, 15, oops, let's put it the other way around. 2022, 10, 15, space 15, 37 minus that, or and we generally need an equal sign in front of all that to do math, equals this, error. That's what I was afraid of. What if we put dashes in there? Does that help it out? That might confuse it even more. In which case we might be looking at just putting that in here. So this is the rental date or listing date. The rented date again. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And so if it gets rented on 2022, 10, 15, at 15:37, time on market is going to be equal to AH3 minus AG3. Did I spell that wrong? Oh, AH3. There we go. So, let's see. Looks like they have slashes in there, so maybe it's going to need the slashes. Let's just add those in. Okay. In which case, time on the market is 0.044. And what if we have this date being 15:33, and this is 10:16? We should get a whole 1, perhaps. Oh, here's 1433. And I probably wanted to put 1433 there too. So that should be exactly one whole day exactly. That is an extra hour. Is that really true? Equals 0.04 times 24. I guess so. That is about a day. All right. 1 hour is 0.04 of a day. I guess I thought it would be more than that. So what I would like to do is I would like to combine all three of these columns. I'd like to combine the listing date, the rented date, and the time on market all into one cell. Kind of like if we were to have equals 5 minus 3, right? That's what I'd like to do for those three columns, where we can always look in here and we can see what the original date was for listing, what the date was for the rented, and it's going to display the time on market. But how do you do that with dates? That's the question. Can I do that in a cell? One thing that we could try is we could try to do something like 22 or 2022 slash 10/15 space 1433, like that, and just see, and let's format that as a date number like this. If we just put that in here like this, what do we get out? 10/15. And then if we put that in parentheses with an equal sign in front, is that? No. We put just an equal sign in front of that? No. So all I'm seeing on the ways to do math is by putting the cell references. But I'd rather not put the cell references. I'd rather actually put the dates in there itself. So is there a way that we could have a function where we could put the date into the function? Kind of like this right here, a minus time. I wonder if there's a function for date specifically. Let's see if that is going to give it to us in a minute here. So we've got a function for time. We've got round downs, of course, and ups. It's not really what I'm looking for. Maybe also it's just calculating days and months between two different dates, changing Google Sheets date format, converting dates. So like maybe that, combining duplicate rows, basic use of formulas for dates, and let's check that out there as well. So we've got different ways that we can write dates, absolutely. You can put dates in multiple different ways. You can give dates this way and see them different ways, sure. So here's a query based on specifying a date that way. So we're not really doing queries necessarily. Date value date string. Oh, I think that is exactly what we want, guys. We want to use date value to give a date string with time as well. So let's see if we can do that. And it's month, day, year. So let's try that. Month, day, year. So if I give equals date value of month, day, year. Does it have to be in quotes? Yes. Okay. Makes sense. All right. It's perfect. Perfect. So now if we take this and then we subtract, or actually, yeah, I guess we could subtract to go back in time, date value of some earlier date, like 10/14, the previous day, 2022 at, let's say we're going to add, so it's 1333.00, like that. That should be a 1.04 or something like that. So it calculated the date for us in some kind of a strange way. So what I really want is like not the date of those dates, but I want the difference in number of days for that. So I think we want to convert the date value that we give into a numeric value, which maybe I can just say force to a number automatic, and then maybe give it some places out after the decimal. No. If we modify this to be 13, this should be about 2 days then, or it says 3, but I don't want any rounding. I don't want any rounding. And let's change this time a little bit to be something like 10. Yeah, see, that's giving us a whole number in days. And what we really want is but we're getting closer. We're getting very close now. So we've got, if you want to convert this to a number, all formulas below will return the same result of this date right there. So we need maybe not date value, but maybe time value. I wonder if there's a time value where we can set that. Maybe date value only, date and time. Calculate time in Google Sheets. Let's see. Let's see if someone just down in here has been trying to do something similar to me. And has a solution for time in here as well. let's see, exact dates with times. Extract the date and time from a full date time record. Let's see, here we go. I'm using date time with this format. I'd like to plot that axis. Please see date time in Google's blog post here. Let's also open up that. And let's take a quick look at these couple of other pages. So date value, but this is the same thing that we were looking at a minute ago. So that doesn't help us, I don't think. How about this one? A date, or date D if, or dated if. I think that's only going to do something if something is true. Let's see. The same goes for date D if. It must be read as date diff. Oh, date diff. I think this is going to be the Holy Grail. Not dated if. Okay, good. It stands for a date difference, hence date diff in Google Sheets calculates the difference between the two dates. Yes, that is what we want. So we can have start date, end date, and then a unit, maybe in like, unit is going to be what? Unit is days, month, years. Oh, but I need time in there as well. I need time in there as well. Or even days with fractional amounts. So that could be good. So let's see what we're looking at here. Number of days is a whole number for this, and that's not what we want. And the date diff is given in columns there, which we don't really want there either. Let's see. Can you actually put start dates and end dates in there? And all I'm seeing so far is whole numbers on the date difference. Let's see. There's another couple of examples. Here's the number of months. Calculate years between different dates. Calculating time. Let's go ahead and check that out as well. Or even, let's check in here real quick and just see if there's something with time. And this Natalia is really pretty good at all this date stuff, huh? All right, so I think, here we go. This is kind of what I'm looking at here. Date if with a specific date and a specific date with days. However, here's a project with times in there as well. And I am seeing in here, I don't know if that includes the minutes. This is also using cells instead of date diff with dates in there. All right, let's try a couple of things real quick. And that is back over to this page, and up at the top of it, can we get a unit, D for days, months, years, month, day, days ignoring the years, months ignoring the years. But I want in time. So if there's a date if, is there a time if? So time, not time if, time diff. Let's see. There's a date diff. Calculating time in Google Sheets. Let's just check that out here. Time, end time minus start time, of course. Number of days. I think we've already looked at this. We didn't find what we were looking for here. But here we can convert this with the time function. Number of hours. Now to sum those dates, extract date and time from a full date time. Split date time into different formulas. See if there's anything down here in the comments. That might help us a little bit more. I'm really looking for something with both a date and a time in there together. Converting text to times. Maybe it would be something like this, where we would convert a text into time, perhaps. There we go. Can you give me a sample sheet that I'm looking at currently? I'm using two cells, one for the date and one for the time. If you'd like to take a look at how this works here, the date and time. Okay, I don't think that's quite what we want either. Here we go. Maybe a little bit of something. We need a formula to work out hours, and we have something like this. How can we do that? You need the if function or if function. What does if actually stand for? So we have B2 minus BA times 24 greater than 6, then we're going to do this. Let's see, we need a formula for working. Formula for if working hours is 6 and one person is working for 6 hours, we need to show work for 0.05 hour extra. So it's between those times, the work time is there. So they've actually worked an extra half an hour. So that's why we're doing a little bit of math with that. This is not quite what I want. Yeah, this is the fun aspect of programming and looking for certain things. Of course, I wouldn't say this is really programming right now, but the same type of thing. You're trying to look up how to perform some specific action in code. Let's see, IFS, which might be seconds, maybe. There's cells again being added together. Really going off on a tangent here, aren't we, guys? Let's see. Doesn't look like getting any good ideas. Trying to figure out how to get time span for these. Okay, time span. Here we go. This might be more accurate because we've got dates with minutes and hours and seconds, and we want to see 4 days, 5 hours, and so on. Okay, so we've got integer of J4 and J3. With an and days and a text of J4 minus J3 hours, minutes, and seconds. Oh, wow. Tell you what, let's take this because this looks pretty dang close. How can I show results as 29? All right, so this is pretty dang close. So let's just take this and start off with that as a example. And so if we're going to rent these heroes out, and what we really want to do is say, let's just paste this into there for the moment. Let's move these things. Let's move this out of there. This out of there. Get those out of the way for a minute. So time on market, that's what we're really shooting for right at this moment. Time on market, and we need to have something like that formula in there, perhaps, where we're going to have AH3 minus AG3. Look at that. So this is going to show what? 1 day, but that's not 0 hours. It is, that's not quite right, but we're getting very close, I think. It says 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds, but let's take off the integer from this, which I don't think is going to be accurate. Yeah. We do need the integer to be the number of days. And then we've got, oh, because I didn't do it over here as well, AH3 minus AG3. There we go. So that is 1 day and 1 hour exactly at the date rented here and here. So it was on the market for 1 day and 1 hour. And then if we play around with this a little bit and say it was maybe 35 and 16, 2 hours and 2 minutes is right. Yes, there we go. So that's what we want. Now, we don't want to take up 3 cells with this. So instead, what we want to do over here is we need to have the dates I wonder if I can save myself a little bit of typing by just doing something like a now button or something. But let's go ahead and just plug in the dates. So integer of, can we do, instead of this, can we say date time of 2022, or maybe better yet, it needs to be in the proper format of something like 10, 15, or 10, 16. Oh man, I'm gonna have to put in the date twice each then. Wow, is that really the best way we can do it? We got to put those, the problem is we have to use those cells twice in this line. Maybe we don't necessarily need all this extra days and time stuff. So what if we just do, yeah, because I don't need anything that fancy. So what if we just do something like take off the integer for that? And we do something like 10/16, 2022 space 1637 minus 10/15, 2022, 13 or 14/33, something like that. And then we can just say that's the days on the market, and we can get rid of all that extra stuff. Is that going to work for us? Maybe it needs date dash time. We need something like date value. Oops. Tell you what, let's edit, redo. Can we put date value back in there instead? And let's not take the integer, but it looks like it's taking the integer of that. So let's look at time. Let's look at functions. Numbers, dates, times, custom date and time format. Let's look up date functions. Google Sheets, time functions. All right, so we've got some stuff there. Text. So calculate duration. The trick is to do something like this. A minus, then we can have hours and minutes, hours, minutes, and seconds. With a function called text. I have a feeling that that would actually be okay. But the trick is going to be to get start times, end times. All right, so then we've got just more time functions. So here we've got extract this from full date-time record. For example, it sees the date of this as the number of that. The integer part represents the date, the fractional time. Stores date and time as numbers. Yes, I understand that. All right, so I'm still not seeing what I really want to see, which is, oh, I know a way we can do it. We can check that out real quick. We can just say like equals time here, and then look at converts a time string into its serial number representation. So time value is true, but then it has a time string. And what could the time string possibly be? Could be something like this, 8:20 p.m. Oh, there's our alarm clock going off for Galena, so we'll probably jump over there and take care of that real quick. Let's learn more about time strings here. And while we got that pulled up, let's just come over here and take care of Galena real quick. So Galena is on our account for DFK3 account. And we can look at Let's do a refresh. Go ahead and collect her from there. Confirm. Check out the spreadsheet over here. And let's look at this little chart right here. So this little chart is where we've got the information about Galena and her questing. So this is the 6th quest that we're keeping track of right now. And she has gained how much experience? 168 and 90.77 gold. 168, 90.77. So this is going to be plus 168. And over here, plus 90.77 again for our 6th attempt right there, our 6th quest. So it looks like we've got about 158 average XP per quest now that she's into 4th level. And we're seeing here that for the low, we've had 148 XP. We've got as high as 178, and then we just had 168. And for the gold, the first couple of quests was 89.15, but now we're doing 90.77, 90.77, 90.77 for the last couple. So very interesting. I think we're going to continue to go up. If we look at the last level, here we saw 88, 88.1, 88.1, 88.1, 88.1 for all of these things here for quite a ways back. And then we start seeing 86.48, 86.48, 86.48, all the way back to here. Right there, all of those are 86.48. And then before that, we were seeing 84.86. Right? So what it looks like to me is that the amount of gold that those heroes are going to get is based a little bit on the, not just level, but the experience points, and actually, I would say, based on probably the XP or the experience here that we see. And this goes up by 0.1, 0.2 every so often. All right. So now that she's into mining experience 10.3, we're gaining a little bit more gold, right? All right. Let's go ahead and get her. She's got 2 stamina points right now. We're going to give her a stamina potion to get her all the way up to 25. I mean 27, 25 additional points. We're going to send her back on the quest again. So inventory, let's load up our stamina potions here. Looks like I'm only missing page 8 right now. I've got pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So hopefully we'll find another page sometime soon. Let's go ahead and get a stamina vial, use that potion. And on, oops, she's for hire. We can't use a stamina potion for her. Oh, man. Why is that? I thought I was doing this before. Oh, maybe she got hired really quick. So I'll tell you what, let's take her off of that momentarily. Agent. Is it under list for hire? Cancel hiring. All right, we'll try this again here. I'm pretty sure I was able to quest her and give her stamina potions and have her hired out all at the same time, maybe. Or it might have been in a specific order. So let's try to look at this a little different way. Let's first get her a stamina potion. Inventory. As we wait slowly for blockchain stuff, there we go. Stamina, use potion on Galena, select that hero, and confirm. That's going to get her 27 stamina potion, or 27 stamina points right away. We can go back to the quest list, gold mining, select Galena, continue, and start the quest. Then we can set our timer back for 5 hours and 10 minutes, and she'll be ready to collect again with another stamina potion at that time. That's going to be the 4 hours and 30 minutes that it takes for her to go through her 27 stamina points. So where we'll see 4 hours and 30 minutes here, plus an additional 40 minutes to gain 2 more stamina points. Right? That way when we give her a stamina potion, then she'll be back up to 27. So that's what we have there. Now, as she is actually questing, let's come over here, list for hire, and put this back at 25. List for hire, and hire, confirm rental. So my guess is that either last time I did this, she was hired so quickly before the time that I needed to give her another stamina potion. So in other words, within 5 hours, that I didn't even notice it. Or something else happened that made it behave a little bit differently. But she is now on a quest with a stamina potion, or having just taken a stamina potion, and for hire as well. So let's see how that goes. Let's get back here to our, I know this is really exciting for y'all guys, figuring out this spreadsheet stuff. But it is useful for us here. So let's press enter on that, I guess. And let's come back up here to this part of our spreadsheet where we're working on our hired times, or our times on the market. And so I'm looking at this example right here. Equals the time value of a, it says time string, but can I actually use like a full time date value? Can I put in here something like 10/16/2022 at 14:30? Can I do that? It looks like I can. It gives me a value of 0.6. Is that because of the only the time portion of it? So in other words, if I said noon time exactly, then that is 0.5. If I said something like 6, is that going to be 0.25? Yeah. So that just gives me the time portion. If I take that and subtract time value from 10/17, 2022 at 7:0700, again, we see only the time portion, the 0.041 value, rather than the full day. Equals date. Using a date string. So time values could be these time strings right here. It's got to be a time string, holds the time representation of only the times. So we don't have any date value at all. Date value converts its provided date string format to a date value. So what we need is like a date time combination. Date value examples. This is just the dates without the times. Date string, date value. See also toDate converts a provided number to a date, returns the argument provided as a number, converts a year, month, day into a date. I need Google's date time functions. Including hours, combine date and time. How do you rate the date and time together? What's the data type for date and time? Small date time. What's the data type? It's not necessarily a function, but let's see if there is a function for that. So if we put small date time, nope. What is the date and time called together? Timestamp. Okay, it's not really what I want. Date.now. That might be in Excel. Google Docs editors help. Date with this specific syntax. See also toDate. Date value. Man, my goodness. Here are maybe other related things. Date, diff. Let's check out date diff. It's going to calculate those dates, but not with the times. Date value, again, doesn't include any times. What about day? See here. It's under a C also. That's not exactly what we want. Days function. Maybe something like this. Start date, end date. And can we get a fraction? Days, this and this. Oh man, come on. Give me some times in here as well. Returns the day of the month. Returns the difference between 2 days based on a 360 day here. Okay, that's not what we want. And we're so close. E-dates. Returns a date specified. Returns a date, a specified number of months before or after another date. So a date, so many days or months before or after. And again, it looks like not including times. Hour. Well, maybe we could do something with hours. As long as our heroes sell quickly, maybe we care more about the hours on the market. But it would have to include the day in case it's over time span of from one evening to the next morning. Network days international. Is network days going to include times? Plus, this might not be what we want because this is really number of working days, right? So Monday through Friday only. So that might be a potential issue. It's probably not what we want, actually. Time is just going to give us hours, minutes, and seconds only. Time value, weekday, weeknight. Oh man, this is just... They do not have any functions, apparently, that deal with the day and the time together as a single unit. That's crazy. Okay. Well, in that particular case, maybe it would be better to just type in the date that we put it on the market and then when it was rented, and just plug in those values. I didn't really want to have 3 fields for that. But maybe we wouldn't really need it. One other option would be to have a section up near here that talks about the number of, or gives us a place where we can plug in the listing date and the rented date, and then whatever that is, we could just plug in the value manually for each of those heroes as they get rented, and not necessarily show that on the listing. I don't think it's necessarily very important that we've got the date and the time recorded, as much as we want to see how long it's been on the market before it was rented. So what we could do is have one of these, let's do like a one of these things here, as she had said before. Maybe it was under this page. No, this one right here. Let's take this and let's plug that into here again. So what we're kind of going to do here is say, so maybe these are our listing times. Just put those right up there as an example. And then here, we're going to use something like AG1 minus AF1. And then again over here, AG1 minus AF1. Then we've got hours, minutes, and seconds. Which we don't really need the seconds. Can we get rid of that? There we go. So this is, in fact, let's not even include the seconds, perhaps. So we've got hours and minutes. And I wish two digits. There we go. Okay. So one day, 2 hours and 2 minutes. And then what we would do is we would have, instead of those things, we'd just have a time on the market that we could put here as an example. And then I would just put something like 1 point something. Actually, maybe rather than that, we really do just want the number itself right there. Or maybe not even turning it into text. Or just not even having it an integer. So yeah, something like that. So now we've got 1.084 days on the market, right? So days on the market, 1.04, something like that, right? But I don't think that's going to work out too well either, because we still need to keep track of the date we listed it to see how long it's going to take until it actually gets rented. Okay. Now I'm leaning again a little bit more towards just plugging that right into there. With the listing date and the rented date right there. And then we've got ready on next is going to be the rented date plus 72 hours or 3 days. So we could do something like equals AH plus actually I think it's going to be time math, which we should probably look at in here to see exactly how to do hours added to a time. So we could just do text of, let's see, we really want dates there. So we could do date plus 3, right? So is it going to be as simple as that cell plus 3? AH plus 3. Try that. Plus 3. And it does look like it's going to be that time. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So ready the next time at Tell you what, let's take those things. Let's resize columns. 241. Fit to data sounds good. Resize columns. 180. Okay, there we go. So that's going to show us when it's ready next, which is going to be on October the 19th at 16:35, which is 3 days from the date it was rendered, which sounds right. $1.084 days on the market. And then we want crystal income. Probably, let's take this and move it over one space. And plug that in between there. And that might be something like 19.25 or something like that. Crystal. Okay, so you've got the date it was listed, the date it was rented, the total days on market for that. Our income, when it's going to be ready next. And then we're just going to keep, that means we're going to have to add these 5 columns for every time we're doing this rental. All right. For our 4 different Gen 0s. Let's see here. And we could probably even take out this bit of information. And maybe even the date. Oh man, maybe we could just have this for now, and then as we could continue on, we can just say delete those 2 or condense it into a days on market after it's been listed and rented. That's an interesting idea also. Okay. Wow, man. Has anyone actually been sticking around? Oh man, talk about sidetracked, and I don't know how exciting that was for y'all as far as content goes. Let's go ahead and reward anyone that's still here with a drawing. I could imagine that probably no one is still here at this point. But if you are, congratulations for being here. Nobel, oh my goodness. Oh, Nobel. Oh man, tell you what, guys, tell you what, if you are still here in chat, I'm not even going to do a drawing. We're just going to give away one raffle ticket for each of you that stuck through that. Lurking and working. Nobel says, I appreciate it. So Nobel, we're going to go ahead and if anybody else wants to chime in chat, y'all have got, let's say 60 seconds, and I'm not going to mention it anymore. You're either listening to me or you're not. So at 3:54 just about, unless it switches over to 54 really quick. We've only got about 60 seconds or less to get in here. Otherwise, yeah, we're going to give away some raffle tickets just for hanging out through that. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see. I think I've got Nobel, I think I've got your wallet address from a little earlier. We're just going to use that same wallet address. Control C to copy. Nobel, what are you working on? If you don't mind me asking, kind of curious as to what it is that you were doing there. Listening to Rock 808 in the background, I can hardly imagine. And I'm going to suppose you probably have other streams open as well, right? I mean, I would hope so. Let's see. Let's hop over to the Polygon network, over to the proper account that we have here. Transfer, Control V. Oh, the speed runs. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is what we want. Let's transfer that. Item being transferred. Waiting for approval. Got Zumzi stream on too. Oh, okay, cool. Zumzi's doing some streaming. Awesome. Zumzi also doing speed running through Sandbox live. Okay, let's see here. That transfer should be complete. He's very good at it. Oh, cool. That always makes it a little bit nicer. All right. So we've got that. Let's hop back over to DFK and get back in here. So, yeah, Nobel, looks like you're the only person who's stuck around. Not like we've had a lot of people in our chats recently anyway. But, yeah, all that spreadsheet talk was a little bit too much for most people, I guess. Congratulations on sticking around and getting a ticket here. Let's see, DFK chain. We're also going to find a little bit more for you to do with your channel points too at some point as well. Because you're certainly racking those up. All right. Okay, I think that brings us back over to here. And if we're looking at this, then let's go ahead and just say, put in the dates and the times for these things. Don't blame them this time. Yeah, this time was rough. Oh, man. This was just me stumbling around for what? Has it been like almost 2 hours. How long has this been going on? The stream has been going on almost 2 hours, and it's been most of that 2 hours that we've been fiddling around with the spreadsheet. So yeah, that's got to be painful. Okay, let's get back in here and look at our times for this. So we're going to suggest some times in here of today's date at about 2 p.m. or 1400 and let's say 30 at 10:15. So for this one, and this one, they all got dates of that. Rented out, not rented out yet. I think this is going to be about 25. But I guess we don't really know quite yet. All right. There we go. And then we should be able to check in on our heroes at any given time and see, yep, she's up for hire. And then hopping into the DFK2 account. Check out my heroes. And oh, look at this. Gernon is done again already so soon. It's crazy. Gernon's like really a boss at this. So I think what we can do is we can come over here and look at the history for this, and we can see here that we rented out that hero 19 minutes and 47 seconds ago. How can I tell that this was a rental? We just say receive from this blockchain right here. But I don't see anything that shows me or anything that would indicate that it is a rental. Can we look at logs and see if that shows anything interesting? Probably not. Not seeing anything there specifically. I remember last time we were looking at the from address and saw that it was a person we didn't really know. And then 9A, 7A had made a comment that maybe it was a rental, and we looked at that into it a little bit more, and sure enough, that's probably what it was. So unfortunately, what that means is, looking back into here, might be a little bit more challenging to just say when we received it, but looks like we received it about 20 minutes ago. And we could also come into here and look at, like if we come back into the tavern and then agent list for hire, we can see that we've got 2 hours and 23 minutes remaining. And if it's the 3-day or 72 hours between those, then we're looking at a, 22 days, 23 hours, and 37 minutes, then that does indicate about 23 minutes ago, which would have put it at about 3:40 or so. So that was very quick renting for Gernon. So we could even take this paste that in here. And let's see if we can see an exact time on that blockchain rather than 20 minutes ago. Do we have an exact time here? Yeah, so it's 3:40 on October the 15th. So we can come here and say 3:40. And so the days on market right there, super, super short. The income had been 19.25. The income for this specifically is 24.06. So this is a way that we're getting a little bit of profit from our Gen Zeros. Let's see, equals 20 times 0.97. $965, $964. There we go, something like that. Or times 10, can we do a percent? Can I do something like 98%? 96.5. Something like times 96 point, or actually, what I really want to do here. What am I trying to do? What I'm really trying to do is put in a number, list for hire, 3.75% is what I'd like to kind of show. Let's cancel out of that because I don't really want to do that. I think that's probably fine. It's just to do that right there. $9,625. And then if we have here equals 25 times 96.25%. And then maybe there's some rounding involved as well. Let's look at this more specifically. How much did I actually get? Value 0 joule. So where is the actual? Oh, and that's not quite what I want either. Small transaction fee. Block states values. Yeah, it's too bad that the value right there, the amount of network token being transacted, shows 0 joule. Can we look at details on that specific transaction? No, that's not going to be what we want. All right. Can I look at somewhere else to see that? Maybe I can look. Let's see, what is my wallet address? Let's check that out real quick. 271. And then look at tokens. No. Oh, we're looking at snow trace. It's not really what we want. Other blockchains? Can we look at other blockchains like man. I don't think we have to only be looking at snow trace. I think there are other ways we can look at other types of transactions on different types of tokens. All right, I guess maybe not. From this website anyway. Something else that we could do is look at let's say DFK blockchain transactions. Subnets network DeFi Kingdoms. There we go. I think this is probably what we want. Looking specifically at that address on the DFK subnet should show us transaction history, including ERC20 tokens. There we go. That's it. So 0.063. Again, they're just rounding that off, which is not exactly what I wanted to see either. If we look specifically at the transaction ID here, is this going to show us? Now this is the same thing. that we're looking at a minute ago. And I can't tell where the value is in that X data there. That is just kind of rounding it off, I believe. Okay. Let's see. We can get rid of all those. So that was pretty quick. So we're here into bank, we're just noticing that it's 24.06. And I guess that's just what we're going to need to keep track of. But it did happen fairly quickly. Let's go ahead and look at our other account. DFK 1. And we should be able to look at our heroes here as well. So these two are both still up for hire. Ramnella still up for hire at 25, and Harlsalt is still at 35 for quite a long time. If these other three that we have get, of course, one of them's already been rented, but if these other two get rented sometime pretty quick, and Harlsalt has been out here for 5 days now, or 4 days at 35, man. We're gonna have to see how that goes. Okay. And that is it for that spreadsheet. And then she's going to be ready to rent out again, or Gen0 is going to be ready to rent out again in on the 18th at 3:40. So I want to be ready for that. So maybe on the to-do list, on our little to-do list sheet here, let's just go ahead and make a note that we also need to keep track of Galena mining market data updates, spreadsheet tracking progress. We also want Gen0 rentals. Keep track of that. That also reminds me, let's take a look through all the Discord stuff and see if there's anything new going on Discords these days. And then probably we'll do another giveaway here in closer to maybe 15 minutes until the hour, or in about another 30 minutes. And then we'll probably wrap up stream right around then. Maybe we can get some of our viewers back over the next 30 minutes actually doing some DFK stuff here, even though it's going to be in Discord. So let's see. We've got those crystals that we were talking about. What should we do with those? It looks like most of y'all are going to want to convert to jewels. So if that remains the main voting, if the voting strength remains there, then of course we'll do that tomorrow. Let's also take a quick look at DFK in general, their main channel. Let's go up to announcements. What kind of announcements do we have for DFK? So I think everyone has looked at the raffle tickets for Duel and the birthday raffle and checked or compared your wallet IDs, right? Everyone's compared their wallet IDs and make sure that they got, they either got things from the raffle or didn't. I think as I was watching that, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure we'll do that today, but maybe tomorrow we'll take a closer look at the spreadsheet. But I am 98% sure that I did not win, maybe even 99% sure that I did not win anything there. And then, of course, there was that video. You could watch the live stream of it there. Congratulations to all the winners, and yay! So let's give an emoji for that. Bolin says, hey, everyone. The votes have concluded, and the vote for Compromise Lock Jewel has passed. Compromise Lock Jewel Restoration has passed, but only that one? Oh, man. Please find the Google form below where you can restore if you were compromised. That's crazy. You know what that means? That means this other one did not pass. Hacked, or I guess the hacked passed and the lost did not. Let's go check those out. Hacked. I guess passed, although did it? I thought we needed, oh, for this they just needed a simple majority. That's right. For this they just needed a simple majority. So that did pass. And then also the other one is here. Oops, that's the Jeweler 2.0. That's not what we're talking about. That definitely passed. Jeweler 2.0. But then the hacked at 61 lost 54%. Wow, that was so close. So look at all these people rejecting that proposal. We took a brief look at that the other day. There's a lot of people rejecting the proposal to help restore people who lost their locked balances. And the interesting thing to me, it was only 75,000 locked balance. I have a feeling that either these people are like the hackers, or these people don't understand what's going on. And I can't imagine. So if we copy this ID and we bring that over into DFK, and we go under inventory and select an item and send it to them, and we can see it's Troto. I have no idea who that is. I'm not sure if there's a way that we could research that and find that out. But I can't imagine that someone with, what's the balance over there? I can't imagine that someone with 496,000 votes, 240 heroes, plus 496,000 X Jewel in a liquidity pool. I'm surprised we wouldn't know who that is. Right? We could even take that address and we could come over into here and let's can I open this up in a new tab? DFK subnet. So this person has basically a jewel value of $207, jewel balance of $1320. If we take a look at some of this stuff, 155 crystal, some blue stem, some spider fruit, some gold, mite crystals, a bunch of other stuff in there. And then down here, we can look at transactions. Today is the 15th. So this is earlier this morning. Quest Core, completed transactions. Gardeners. Quest core again. So it looks like they're doing a little bit per day, but you know, actually, it doesn't seem that they're extremely active. They did a couple of things today, and then maybe throughout the day, 10:33 a.m., 8 a.m., 2 a.m. So maybe they're not even in this country, doing things at 3 a.m. my time. Same thing on the 14th. There's several transactions on the 14th, but not a lot. I mean, it seems like it would be manual questing that they're doing rather than bot questing, maybe. If we look at tokens here, we can see Bluestem. Also, let's take a quick look at this. So the address is the F4 address, but are we sending anything from F4? So crystals. Looks like we're gaining some crystals for some various things. One thing we could do if we were really more curious than I am at the moment. There's a bunch of heroes. So from accounts to accounts, it's interesting what this account would be. Tell you what, let's do over here before we go too much further. Let's take a look at DFK, go into the bank, and paste that here. So their total value in this is probably just about $1,300, which isn't really a lot. There's $1,000 specifically into, oh, hold on a second. No, this is more than that. What did I say, $1,000? This is $1,381,000. $1,380,000. So this is definitely some kind of a whale. $287,000 currently into DeFi Kingdoms, $1 million in the wallet, and $1 million of that is in something called UOS. Some token called UOS, which I have no idea what that is. Then there's a bunch of other small values right in here. Ethereum, Jewel, Crystal, 1. So very much into DeFi Kingdoms with this wallet and not a lot else, whatever UOS is. Then they've got $278,000 US dollars worth of value in Jewel pool with 528 crystal sitting in the rewards right now. That is a massive amount. Why would you have that much value in Jewel X Jewel other than voting power? But you're certainly not trying to gain a lot of extra money, right? Because Jewel X Jewel is one of the lowest percentages there. Sardo, hey, how you doing? It's Ultra, some gaming coin. Oh, Ultra is the gaming coin. Interesting. $1 million into this gaming coin right there. So, Sardo, I'm not sure how long you've been listening. What we're doing right at this moment is we are looking at the wallet address for this top voter who voted to reject the proposal to restore the locked balances for those people that lost it. So I was a little curious as to who would be voting for something, and then also are they even active? We did a quick search and we found that it's owned by this user Trodo. And sort of, I think you might have been around for a little while. Have you ever heard of a user account called Trodo? Yeah. So anyway, I haven't heard of Trodo, so I thought I'd look around a little bit more, and I'm just seeing what their little bit stuff in their wallet here. So that's $1 million. And if we look at NFTs, which probably has nothing, no data board and all that kind of stuff. And then if we look at history, we can see what's been going on here. And it looks like they are questing their heroes, or, there could be a bot involved in this. But because there hasn't been any activity in the last 6 hours, I'm a little skeptical to think that they're using a bot that might be questing heroes more often, especially since they've got 240 heroes. It's a lot of heroes. So here's, 13 hours ago, and then there's a big 5-hour jump between anything. 19, 20 hours. And again, more questing. So here you're taking out some Jewel. So you're sending Jewel to some other address. 24,000 Jewel. We could take a look at that and see the from and to address. So where are they sending it to? They're sending it to this address. And that is Revit. It's a lot of Jewel to be sending to Revit. Oh, I don't know who that is either, of course. If we looked at that address, this address has perhaps also a lot of value in it. If we come over here and look at the bank again for this other address, this address is smaller, only 8,000 USD of value in there. All of it in Jewel, 54,000 Jewel sitting just in Jewel. For $8,000. Let's come back over to here. Looks like more questing going on. Some more questing. I don't want to spend a ton of time with this, but it is certainly interesting to see what they're doing. So it looks like they're playing somewhat, but they're not necessarily playing a lot. And whatever the case is, they voted no to restore those locked balances to those people that accidentally lost it. And yeah. All right, last page will load. If we don't see anything interesting here, we'll just leave it. They're receiving some jewels from, quite a bit of jewel from something. I don't know if it really matters too much to look into that, but yeah, very interesting. So let's get back to what we were doing a little while ago, which was looking at the announcements here. So obviously we had those announcements, but we're also making sure that everyone checked their wallet addresses for the birthday raffle prizes and the dual raffle prizes. And it looks like Bullen is saying that the compromised lock jewel restoration is passed. And I was just looking at this and noticed that it didn't seem to have indicated the, and I guess for the other one that passed with the lost balances where you send it to yourself accidentally, they wouldn't need you to fill out a form. They're just going to restore those. And so those will just appear in your wallet. So nothing necessarily important to do with that. Let's also check out contests while we're here looking at this. There's no current contests in DFK. I think we followed up with that not too long ago. Let's check out Waifu and see if there's any announcements for them today. So we do have a little bit here. Looks like the next 5 Waifu NFTs have been minted. Wow, we're all the way up to 250. Nobel, I think you got one of these. Sardo, are you doing anything with any type of bot service? Whether it's Waifu or DFK or any of the others? I think there's a few more. Let's take a look at the game room here as well. Sometimes there is some giveaways here. See if it's anybody I know. Waifu 250 will be given away to a lucky NFT holder. Come back in 1 hour. And this was yesterday, so it looks like the roll of 230. So who was this? Power of Compounding, Mugen. Nice, Mugen. Yeah, hitting big. So I think maybe Mugen just bought one of them and then won another one and then maybe won another one because of that. Maybe the one that they won last time was 230 and now with 230 winning again. So that's pretty crazy. Another one for the Horde. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Sardo Fritz says, I will set up one in a week or two when I finally get some free time. Which service do you think you're going to go with? Have you thought about that at all? And in the giveaways, there is nothing new there. Let's take a look at Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms and see if they've got any announcements up in their Discord as well. Looks like no new announcements, and I can't see any giveaway stuff right off the bat. Let's check out Fight Club. Doesn't look like they usually don't have any announcement section in there. Check out Team Goose. Team Goose, any announcements? Nothing new. I think they've got a giveaway section, but nothing new in there. DFK Solver. Doesn't look like anything new in announcements. DFK has no new announcements for us. That was a while back. And doesn't look like any giveaways or anything there. Unity Guild. I need to get more into Unity Guild. We are going to start looking into this, I guess tomorrow. Maybe I will need to make a note on our spreadsheet page. Is it going to be here? Or is it going to be here? So let's look into Unity Guild. Look. Oh man, typing is terrible right now. Look into Unity Guild. And let's even highlight that a little bit in some yellow to call it out a little bit more. Let's see. Sardo says, I'm a cheapskate. I'll get the one with the NFT where you pay once. Yeah, that's... I don't know if I would say cheapskate. You know, personally, that's the one that I'm in myself. And I feel that that's just a better return on investment. I can't see... I haven't been able to figure out yet how to justify to myself that paying $35 or $50 or $100 a month is something, at least with the number of heroes that I have and with the, I guess, the things that I'm doing, I can't justify spending $35 every single month or $50 or $100 every single month when the biggest advantage right now seems to be questing the heroes. It's just, I mean, there are some of the other services do a few other things, but the difference in price that you make for some of that stuff, like, for example, some of these are going to allow you to sell your items on the market, but we're talking about selling, maybe 20 bloaters that are worth fractions of pennies, and I just can't see. Now, maybe if I had 1,000 heroes, then that would make sense. But for some of these things, the more heroes you have, the more you're paying, and so it doesn't. It's hard for me to justify that. I haven't seen the math yet that says that that's a good investment idea. So I wouldn't say cheapskate. Just it's maybe a little bit more. It's a little bit more obvious, I guess, what your payment is and what you're going to be getting and when you can make that value back, right? Yeah, you heard me talking about the other day. The subscription one is just not a good deal. I hate to say it's not a good deal because they are offering a lot of additional service, but for me, I just don't think that I can justify the continued higher expense for the things that we are trying to do, right? Again, selling off those things, yeah, for you, for you, just not a good deal. Yeah, and I would agree. For me, it's not a good deal either, from what I've seen. And let me clarify that. I know that Coolio and Zealous were going to get back with me, or at least Coolio was going to get back with me after having worked up a spreadsheet that's supposedly going to show me the math a little bit more precisely about where this value is coming from. And I'd love to see that. If they can have a breakdown of here's how much value we're getting from questing, here's how much value we're getting from renting out heroes or selling heroes, or selling the loot that we get. If I can see a breakdown of that where the loot itself is making $30 a month, then I might reconsider. But I'm already doing the heroes, so whatever they're doing for heroes and questing heroes doesn't really matter because we're already doing that with waifu. Anyway, let's finish this up here, and then we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a little giveaway here. Sardo, I'm not sure if you've been online much over the last couple of days when we've been talking about these giveaways, but we're giving away some raffle tickets that are reward tickets that will be used for raffle on Sundays. And we're going to start doing that. A couple of raffle giveaways. We're going to be giving away the raffle tickets just for hanging out on stream and chatting and all that kind of stuff. And we're trying to give away 3 on the morning stream in Twitch. And we're giving out 3 in the afternoon stream here on YouTube. And generally about once every hour is when we're giving those away. So something about, I'm hoping to get on at 9 a.m. So 9:45, 10:45, 11:45 is kind of about the times when we're talking about U.S. Central Time. And then 2:45, 3:45, and 4:45 p.m. for the afternoon times on YouTube. And if you're interested in those, and some things that we're going to be giving away is probably the things that most people give away. Egg, maybe a Generation 1 summoned hero, maybe some loot, like some stamina potions or some other types of things along those lines, or maybe some crystal jewel combinations or something. I'm asking in the Discord, our Darlantis Discord, for any new ideas of things that y'all might want us to give away. But if you're here in the next 5 minutes, which I suppose you would be, you'll be eligible for the giveaway here. And then, of course, we'll do raffles on Sunday to actually win the prizes that we got from the tickets that we've earned all up to the week. So, yeah, it's that. Yes. So let's see here. Let's finish up with this. Unity guild. I really want to get involved in this, but there's so many messages that I haven't read since I guess I've been behind a little bit that I just want to keep these unopened until I can get to it probably tomorrow. So let's look at a couple of other things. DFK Quester. Do they have any new announcements? It doesn't look like it. There is something new here in Quester. Let's see what's being said. Here we go. Is anyone else having success using, that was just at here. It's probably not. And I don't see any giveaway announcements stuff or any giveaways. And then we have DFK Arena. They don't have any new announcements. I don't see any new giveaway stuff. And that looks like it. Okay. So that wraps it up for updates in everybody's Discord. Oh no, DFK Helper. Let's check out DFK Helper. There is some stuff up here as well. No new announcements. There is a little bit of a changelog. Let's see. So DFK Helper is one of these other things that I feel could be possibly good. This is where Coolio and Zealous were talking about stuff. So updating gardening AI improved so that no longer requires a minimum in pools. Now automatically your very best gardeners will assign themselves first to your pool with the most LP and then the next best. Okay, so that is better. And then we'll treat the empty pools equally assigned with the leftovers. The non-AI is basically obsolete. Its only purpose would be if you're trying to rotate more than 84 gardeners or work around something a little bit better. Be sure to enable gardening AI in your adventure tab. Yeah, okay. And I don't necessarily see, there's giveaways. It doesn't have anything in there too. All right, so again, they're continuing to make improvements for that, which is good. And then also let's take a look at DFK or next DFK Hero, which does not have any new announcements or anything in there either. So, all right. I think we are good there. Let's hop back over to the general Discord for DeFi Kingdoms. Let's see, is anybody... Oh, nice. Okay. And then finally, that is it for here. So I think we're about ready to do our last giveaway of the day. And then we're going to wrap up stream here. So coming over to this page, let's go to Nightbot. And too bad we don't have an alarm sound here. There we go, Nightbot. So Sardo Fritz is the only one that we've got right at the moment who's been active in the last 15 minutes. But I think there are some lurkers out there. Nobel still might be lurking in the background. And I don't know who else. 9A7A could be or some others. Come in, at least say hi in chat. And get your name on the eligible people here. Nobel, there he is. Thought you were still lurking in the back. Yes. We're about to do our final giveaway of the day, and wanted to make a call out to anybody who's lurking in the background. Come and say hi, get your name on the list. Love the lurking, absolutely. Love all my lurkers hanging out, just chilling out with us all day long. You're too shy for chat. Oh, don't worry about it, Sardo. I don't mean to keep asking you a bunch of questions and having you get involved in chat a lot. I'm kind of the same way. I don't like to get involved in chat a whole lot. And plus, I'm generally, when I'm watching a stream, I'm probably doing something else on the side as well. And so I don't necessarily like to get engaged with some kind of chatter and pulling me away from work and stuff like that. But I appreciate you being here. And if you do have questions and all that kind of stuff, hopefully before too long, we might have, 10 or 20 people just kind of hanging out. And it might turn, I can imagine it turning into a little bit more of something like DeFi Kingdoms general Discord, where there's just some random chat amongst, yourselves. And people can just sit and watch that kind of thing. And if people have questions, like I really would like to be able to see something like what we see here in DeFi Kingdoms general Discord. And then if there are questions, like anyone know why my gardening quests in Crystal Vale say level 0 and my gardeners are level 9, that maybe we can answer some of these questions a little bit better and help out some of these people that are asking a bunch of these questions, right? So does anyone have any jewel burn over time chart and so on? I'm not going to have answers to a lot of these questions myself, but it would be kind of interesting to be able to help some people out through a live stream here as well. So let's go ahead and do our giveaway. Nobel and Sardo are the members here, or the viewers that we've got. Let's go ahead and roll. And who is going to get the ticket for today right now? And roll it. Drum roll, please. Nobel has won again. Very good. Congratulations, Nobel. Again, we give out these prizes about once every hour. 3 in our morning stream on Twitch, 3 in our afternoon stream. We might miss sometimes, so if we do, then not that big a deal. And Nobel, from the last time you won, I still have your wallet address. You seem to be racking these up. So Sardo, if you hadn't heard about this before, I've got these NFT raffle tickets, or these reward tickets that I've had for a long time. And we can transfer these over, and then these can be used as raffle tickets or whatever we want to do to gain prizes. And this is a setup that I've had for maybe almost a year now. And so let's see, this is what we're giving out. So I'm going to come over here to they're on Polygon Network, and I've got to switch over to another account where I had originally set them up with my Sandbox wallet. But we are going to transfer them over to, and generally, since Nobel would prefer to keep wallet addresses off of stream, I'll just pull it over to here, and then let's click on this and grab your wallet address right on another screen and paste it into there and click on transfer. And confirm that transfer on the blockchain. And there we go. So we should see that we've got transfer is complete. There we go. And we're going to do that a couple of times a day. So congratulations again, Nobel and Sardo. Stick around if you're hanging out here in chat. You don't necessarily need to be very active, but as long as you're kind of listening to it in the background, and when you hear, hey, we're about to do a giveaway, then you just come in and say hi. Don't need to really worry about chatting too much. And then you can get on the Nightbot eligibility list and be good to go. Yeah. But you need to go now. Have a good one. See you later, Nobel. Glad you could be here for this. We're about to wrap up stream as well. It is 4:51 p.m. our time, and we want to wrap things up by 5 o'clock. So Sardo and Nobel, thanks for hanging out with us today. Anyone else? I think there were some people. Link for coming in earlier. Potatoes was here a little earlier as well. Crypto Grady stopped in for a short amount of time this morning, or this afternoon. So that is cool. Let's see. Let's get back onto the DFK chain network. Cheers! Absolutely, Sardo. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like I said, we're going to wrap things up and be on our way. We will see y'all tomorrow. Sardo, I don't know if you've got a Twitch account, or if you care to, or if you can or care to be on at those hours. Tell you what, let me do one thing at the end of our day here. Can we do !Twitch? I doubt it. !Twitch probably is going to show nothing. Tell you what, let's set up an account for that, or a commands for that, custom commands. And we've got a Discord command, an alert command, but let's also do a add command for Twitch. And then we can give the URL. Join us on twitch.tv for our morning streams and giveaways. There we go. Everyone cool down, song request, submit. And now we should be able to see exclamation mark Twitch. And sometimes it might take a few moments, but there we go. Join us on twitch.tv for our morning streams, giveaways, and there it is. Let's go ahead also and edit that one more time, though. And do a space in between there. There we go. That ought to be a little bit better. And here, Rock 808s, Darlantis Discord is right there. And then YouTube, do we need a YouTube one as well? YouTube. Hey, hey, that's a sound. It sounds like someone from Twitch has followed. Sort of, I don't know if that's you or not, but Borgo Libro, thanks for joining. That's me, yay, thanks for joining and following us on Twitch. You say, never really been a Twitch user. If I am free when you're streaming, I'll be there. Say hello, found your channel. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for following. I get little audio alerts when people follow, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and grab the videos. Let's say videos and all videos. Control C and Rock 808, oops, not capital. Rock 808 YouTube. Control V. Submit. All right. So that is going to give us a few things here that we can play around with. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting, Sardo. And if we don't see you on YouTube, on Twitch much, that's okay. Appreciate to have you on YouTube. I think most of the DFK people are on YouTube. There's not a lot of people on Twitch, probably. Maybe we could change that over time. I think Twitch has some very interesting community, features that YouTube doesn't have right now. Like some various sound alerts and some other, types of things, tiered level support and various types of things. The ability to do some emotes and stuff like that that we don't quite have here on Twitch. Is kind of like Discord in a way, where you can have all of your little various emotes from those channels. You can do on Twitch as well. Better community marries with crypto. Yeah. So that's something too. There's a big crypto community on Twitch. I'm sure there probably is here, but it seems harder to find communities on YouTube. it seems to be. I'm not sure if that's really true or not. All right. So that looks like about it. We got those things set up. Let's check anything else that we need to check before the end of the day here. I think we've got everything. Let me move this little, so we can look at some of our to-do list. Galena, mining, stamp potting, we took care of. We've got a timer set up to come in 3 hours. Market data updates we did this morning on, we always do that in the morning, generally on Twitch. Spreadsheet tracking, we usually do that in the morning also, but I think we were running a little late today, so that was done on YouTube. Gen0 rentals, we fixed all of that up here a little earlier. Check for updates on all of the Discords, which we did as well. Look into the Unity Guild, we'll do that tomorrow maybe. Set up a giveaway wallet. Potatoes was contributing 20 frost bloaters. Okay, so that is something that we have started, but we still need to finish. We need to add more items to the liquidity pools. We can start to do that tomorrow, maybe. Maybe we'll spend a little bit of time doing that. We talked about Warcraft 3, Dungeon Crawler, maybe building our own Discord game or something. I do want to get into Discord. I do want to get into building our own community software, maybe getting some suggestions from the community and doing something. So whether you're listening to this video live right now or whether you're listening to it in the future, if you have an interest in building, like I know that Bjorn had mentioned an interest in doing some kind of coding for DFK or coding in general. So we're going to learn to do that a little bit. Choose giveaways for Darlantis Discord. Yeah, so that's something that we were looking at the other day as well, is making sure that in our Darlantis Discord, if you are looking under Darlantis and the giveaways section that we've got here, go ahead and update, or JDub mentioned maybe pets or eggs, or if there's something else, I will drop a quick link in this YouTube channel right now to let's see, what do I want to do? Oops, not this. I need to do this and copy link. So if anybody wants to come back and look at this video later or now, whenever, and get into what items should we be giving away for our Sunday giveaways, then make some suggestions. I've already got some suggestions here. Other people are making other suggestions, and that will be good for us. Let's see. Talk a little bit about our play to earn investment account. We can do that a little bit later. Crafting stamina potions. I think I've got 40 stamina potions, so we're good for a little while. And I made a note here that we're keeping track of some milkweed. Had put in 100 milkweed and 10 crystal for 1% of the liquidity pool. And I have not been impressed. I will say I've not been impressed with the amount of small returns that we could possibly be getting from some of these liquidity pools, like mixing milkweed with crystal and some other types of things. It's just very tiny, if anything at all. So I think it might be better to sell those items for the most part, and then put that into a liquidity pool or a hero or something like that, where we can put that value to work a little bit more quickly for us. But anyway, there's our to-do list, and I think that we've done everything that we want to do for today in here. Other than that, it looks like we are at the 3-hour mark, and it's a great time to wrap up the stream. So thanks again for everybody who's being here. We're going to wrap it up right now. Sardo, maybe catch you soon. Anybody else, we will see y'all later. Until then, rock out.